Nova hat.
Whole city knows my name. I wasn't up by some.
Whole city know my name now.
Wasn't always sure.
Yeah. Whole city know my name now.
Wasn't got a story with my face.
Whole city know my name now.
Whole city knows my name.
Now out every bit.
3 years of producing in the bedroom on Atlantic Ave. Nobody returning calls. The whole elaborate performance of knocking on industry doors. The passionate consistency of somebody who hadn't yet captivate the attention of anyone with actual power. The hours stacking up without evidence. The tower of work accumulating, invisible to devour. Impatience required to keep building through the dower. Silence of being unknown. Completely I kept records. Every beat dated, every rejected. Demo file, the methodical rejected. And tried again pattern that eventually collected into something too consistent to ignore.
Yeah. Whole city know my name now.
Wasn't always so. Years building dark for the LA.
Whole city know my name now.
Got a story with my face.
Whole city know my name now.
Whole city knows my name.
I earned every bit. Yeah.
The turning point was a Tuesday in November. The local radio station picking up one record, the vocal response from the neighborhood immediate. The focal point of the city shifting towards something I kept local. Intentionally recognition spreading block by block. The specific geography of it, the unlocked doors opening sequentially. The clock reaction of an audience that had been docked from the work by simple lack of access. Now they had it. The city responding to something real. The habit of authenticity paying finally the rabbit. Hall of Fame narrower than people think. To grab it, approach chasing it, replaced by letting it arrive. 3 years, nobody called back. Now every phone ringing off the hook. The work was always there, just needed city to finally take a look. Yeah. Whole city know my name now. Whole city know my name now. Whole city know my name now. I own every bit. Whole city now.
Whole city knows my name.
Yeah.
Whole city knows my name. Whole city knows my name.
I remember every person who told me this wouldn't work. The specific faces, the dismissive smirk of industry gatekeepers, the quirk of selective memory that makes the jerk. Head around version of yourself want revenge, but the work was never about them. The avenge feeling less satisfying than expected. The revenge ego less important than the actually leverage position of being recognized for something real I made. Whole city know my name now.
Wasn't always so.
Yeah.
Years building the dark.
Whole city know my name now.
Got a story with my face.
Whole city know my name now.
Whole city knows my name.
Now I own every bit.
Whole city knows my
Whole city now.
Whole city knows my name. Whole city knows my name.
Yeah.
Whole city knows my name.
3 years invisible. Tuesday in November. The city found it. The work was always there. Now everybody knows it was always there. Soul Stab drops. She held it down.
Held it down while I was building every single day. Cover what needed, covering while I was away. In the work, in the struggle, in the not yet there. She held it down while I was building, and that deserves more than I could share.
The building years don't look glamorous from the inside. The late nights, the broke stretches, the tide of uncertainty that comes with any real commitment. The wide gap between where you are and where you're trying to ride toward a daily decision to keep going anyway. Renee absorbed all of that with me. The display of her patience never performed, never the hey look. How supportive I am version, just the actual daily covering of what needed covering. The factual evidence of partnership under pressure. The tactical wisdom of two people deciding one of them will be the practical foundation while the other builds something intangible.
She held it down while I was building every single day. Covered what needed, covering while I was away. share.
The thing about that kind of support is how invisible it is until you stop and actually look. The fizz of ordinary daily life, hiding the enormous quiz. The discipline it takes to hold the household, the business of keeping things running while one person pours everything into something that might fail. The ring of uncertainty that surrounded every string of months we spent unsure of the outcome. The sting of doubt that Renee absorbed without letting it become our burden. That's a specific kind of strength the world doesn't confirm. In public enough, the quiet backbone that makes the firm foundation for somebody else's visible success. The term for it is partnership, but that word doesn't do it justice.
The work got the applause,
the name got the recognition, but nothing I built would have stood without a steady foundation.
She held it down.
Wow.
While I was building, cover what needed covering while I was away. In the struggle, in the not yet there. She held it down while I was building, and that deserves more than I can share.
I make sure she knows now the specific acknowledgement of what she carried, the acknowledgement going beyond appreciation into actual assignment and credit, the alignment of the public story with the actual reality of how it happened.
In the work, in the struggle, in the not yet there. She held it down while I was building, and that deserves more than I can share. 5 years she held it while I built the work, got the applause. She got the actual credit in every room I walk into.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Tears, funky guitar stab, kick drops hard. 4 bars, breathe.
Yo, 3 miles every morning before the city woke up. Before the traffic, before the noise, before the cup of coffee, even just the empty streets of my own lungs. 3 miles before the city woke, that's where discipline comes from.
Started at 23 when everything felt formless. The goals I had still vague enough to be enormous and unworkable simultaneously. The dormant potential of somebody who hadn't yet found the cornerstone of actual discipline. Somebody told me the morning run would organize everything else to warning. Being that the first hard thing you do before the morning crowd arrives makes every subsequent hard thing morning simpler by comparison. I dismissed it initially. The advice too simple to take seriously. The officially unsecret prescription, the artificially accessible answer to a problem I convinced myself was officially this, but I tried it anyway. The first week brutal. 3 miles every morning before the city woke up. Before the traffic, before the noise, before the cup of coffee, even just the empty streets in my own lungs. 3 miles before the city woke, that's where discipline comes. 3 miles every morning before the city woke up. Before the traffic, before the noise, before the cup of coffee, even just the empty streets in my own lungs. 3 miles before the city woke, that's where discipline comes from. By week 4, something has shifted. The morning miles becoming the organizing principle. The dials of the rest of the day set by what happened in those trials of a pre-dawn pavement to smiles and grimaces of the run, bleeding into how I approached everything after the deadline. At work, encroached on the same muscle the morning run had coached. The difficult conversation in need of poaching required the same willingness to start anyway to run it. 3 miles at 5 a.m. for 12 years, a solid foundation that everything else was built on. The stolid, unchanging anchor that made the rest of it valid. When anything gets hard now, I run harder the next morning.
The cigars are fly, created from salt is the silence outlet, and everything else was go up on the scrolling station that better made the rest of it valid. When anything gets hard now, I run harder the next morning. Guitar stab alone, guitar scab alone. The city is always there when I get back. The same streets that watch me start from scratch. 3 miles of proof before anyone's awake that I showed up before anything was at stake. 3 miles every morning before the city woke up. Before the traffic, before the noise, before the cup of coffee, even just the empty streets of my own lungs. 3 miles before the city woke, that's where discipline comes. 3 miles every morning before the city woke up. Before the traffic, before the noise, before the cup of coffee, even just the empty streets of my own lungs. 3 miles before the city woke, that's where discipline comes from.
23 years old. First run, 12 years daily. Since empty streets at 5 a.m. 3 miles of proof before anything else begins. Yeah. Soul stab hits, locks, and 4 bars tight. Yup. Everything I know, I taught myself and taught myself again. First time wrong, second time with the weight of having been down that road already. The advantage be a no. Both the wrong way and the right, and that's a different kind of flow. Yo. Hey, the self-taught education has a specific curriculum nobody designs for you. The pendulum of trial and error, replacing the ordered progression of formal learning. The awarded credential being the actual working knowledge instead of the certification of college. A real-world application of knowledge earned through consequence. The college dropout who outperforms the graduate is a myth. It's the specific result of learning with the stakes real from the beginning. The pith of understanding arriving alongside the kith and kin of actual failure, not hypothetical grade. Everything I know, I taught myself and taught myself again. First time wrong, second time with the weight of having been down that road already. The advantage being I know. Both the wrong way and the right, and that's a different kind of flow. Yo, I learned to count it wrong first. The whole first year of my business running on instinct. The share remains of my hustle covering the absence of clear financial literacy. The cash flow rare, catching up eventually in a way that required complete relearning from scratch. The acquired wrong knowledge had to be retired before the right knowledge could be hired into the system. The double cost of self-teaching, but the second pass at it, the reaching back through actual experience, the teaching arriving alongside the memory of the breaching of the system by the wrong version made it permanent. Soul stab alone, bass drops back, kick double snare sharp. First time through you learn what doesn't work. Second time through you understand why the gap between those two things is the real education. That's where the knowledge lives. Everything I know, I taught myself and taught myself again. First time wrong, second time with the weight of having been down that road already. The advantage being I know. Going the way and the right, and that's a different kind of flow. The formerly educated know the right way first, clean and efficient, but they never nurse the wrong way through its full consequences. The worst of understanding theory before practice the first wrong answers, sometimes being the better educating long term. I watch formal training confirm what I already knew from failure the term, or self-teaching ending in the knowledge more firm for having been built from the wrong end up twice. Everything I know, I taught myself and taught myself again. First time wrong, second time with the weight of having been down that road already. The advantage being I know. Both the wrong way and the right, and that's a different kind of flow. First year of business, wrong account, we learn from scratch. The second pass was permanent. Self-talk costs more hub, pays more later. Taught myself everything twice. Yo, the night we almost threw the whole album away. A year of work sitting on the table to say of exhaustion and doubt louder than anything that night. We almost quit the record, almost walked away from the fight. Yo, 11 months in, and nothing was clicking right. Every mix sounded wrong, the specific plight of a project that had lost its own center. The night we gathered in the studio, the slight mood of resignation already present before we played it back. Someone said it first, maybe we should scrap the whole thing, start fresh. The trap, a sunk cost, keeping us chained to something that perhaps had never been what we thought it was. The silence after that suggestion speaking volumes. The alliance of exhaustion and doubt creating the perfect science of giving up the environment in complete compliance with the decision to walk away from a year of work. The night we almost threw the whole album away. A year of work sitting on the table to say of exhaustion and doubt louder than anything that night. We almost quit the record, almost walked away from the fight.
The night we almost threw the whole album away. A year of work sitting on the table to say of exhaustion and doubt louder than anything that night. We almost quit the record, almost. Yo, DeMarcus put on the first track. We finished the earliest one for month 2, and everything felt newest, the clearest vision of what we've been trying to build. The nearest thing to the original intention, the dearest version of the project before the second guessing started. Something in the room shifted, the departed confidence, the turning in pieces, the charted course of the original vision. Remember the started over feeling replaced by the recognize what you have feeling. 3 hours later, we weren't quitting the healing of perspective, doing what exhaustion had been stealing. The album needed revision, not abandonment, the revealing truth that you can hear your own more clearly when you're tired. Tonight we almost threw the whole album away. A year of work sitting on the table to say of exhaustion and doubt louder than anything that night. We almost quit the record, almost walked away from the fight. The night we almost threw the whole album away. A year of work sitting on the table to say of exhaustion and doubt louder than anything that night. We almost quit the record, almost walked away from the fight. 7 months in. Ready to scrap everything. Marcus played the first track. 3 hours later, we weren't quitting. The album came out 6 months after. Still proud of it. Proud of it. Yo, same starting line, different roles, same finish area roughly. Him through the formal route, me through the roughly. A simple self-education, both of us arriving. Same starting line, different roles, both still thriving. Yo, thriving. Jerome and me grew up on the same block, same school, same ambition to get somewhere to cool. The virgins happening at 18, the pool of options splitting. Jerome choosing the full academic route, the college, the credentials, the established pipeline, the professional, the sequential logic of the institution. Me choosing the essential skills approach to trades, the preferential treatment. I gave hands on learning over classrooms. Neither of us was right or wrong. The assume hierarchy between the routes we both assumed. Years believing wasn't real to groom. Distinction between path collapsing once we arrive somewhere. Same starting line, different roads, same finish area roughly. Him through the formal route, me through the roughly. Assemble self-education, both of us arriving. Same starting line, different roads, both still thrive. Same starting line, different roads, same finish area roughly. Him through the formal route, me through the roughly. Assemble self-education, both of us arriving. Same starting line, different roads, both still thrive. 20 years later, Jerome and I work together. His theoretical framework and my weather, practical instinct combining into something better than neither of us would have produced. The tether, intelligence of two different educations collaborating. He brings what the institution taught him, the calibrating precision, the formal training I bring with the iterating. Through actual failure taught me the creating under pressure that classrooms rarely simulate. Two men who took different roads but didn't alienate each other for the choice to deliberate. Respect we each held for the other separate. Journey making us better partners than rivals. Brass stab balloon, bass on one kick hard, vinyl snare two. The real bound we should have started working together 10 years earlier. The combination obvious in hindsight. The earlier version of our arrogance, each thinking his route was superior, costing us a decade of partnership. The inferior thinking was the competition. Collaboration was always the answer. The answer. Same starting line, different roads, same finish area roughly. Him through the formal route, me through the roughly. Assemble self-education, both of us arriving. Same starting line, different roads, both still thriving. Same block at 18, completely different routes. 20 years later, working together should've started a decade sooner. The roots, whenever the competition. Rack step, things are one back. Rack step, rack step, lose.
Change how the block scene itself.
Pull something real off the shelf. And what we knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block got made. The session started late because the engineer was running behind. The crew assembled in the waiting room. The kind of restless energy of people with something to prove. The grind of weeks of preparation, now waiting to find expression in actual tape. When we finally got in the booth, the first hour was loose. The truth of early sessions being the clearing away the sleuth. Work of finding where the energy is, the uncouth rawness of artists warming up before something clicks. Then around 2 a.m. something in the mix shifted. The specific alchemy and tied people to bricks. The guards coming down, producing the paradox of better work through less self-consciousness. Change how the block scene itself.
Pull something real off the shelf.
But what we
knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block got made.
One night,
change how the block scene itself.
pull something real off the shelf.
But what we
knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block. The record that came out of that session traveled the specific way a real thing moved through a neighborhood. The prolific spread of something authentic, the terrific speed of word of mouth when the thing is real, the horrific. Opposite being the slow death or something forced. The block heard itself in it. The source recognition of real experience, voice the endorsed feeling of a neighborhood seeing its own story divorced from the usual misrepresentation and told honestly. Kids who never cared about music before modestly admitted they listened 30 times. The ghostly power of real art doing what it does. The mostly invisible line that crosses between entertainment and identity. That night in the booth, we weren't thinking about legacy. We were just trying to get something true on tape. The block gave us everything we needed to say it. The session gave it back to the block in a shape they could take. Change how the block scene itself.
pull something real off the shelf. Of what we knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block. One session,
one night,
change how the block scene itself.
pull something real off the shelf. Of what we knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block. Years later, people from that block still reference that record. The specific pride of a neighborhood that got its story brokered into something permanent. The checkered history of who gets represented, the rest structured. Feeling of a community that finally heard itself clearly. Yeah. One session,
one night,
change how the block scene itself.
pull something real off the shelf. Of what we knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block got made.
one night,
Change how the block scene itself.
pull something real off the shelf. Of what we knew we had but never heard back play.
One session,
one night,
and the whole block got made. 2 a.m. when it clicked. The block heard itself in it. Kids listen 30 times. That's what a real session does. Still reference years later. Yeah. 7 years I owe that apology, let pride hold it back. Let pride hold it back. 7 years of knowing I was wrong, but staying on track. With the version of the story that protected my ego. 7 years before I finally let the pride go. 7 years of open, but finally the pride on back. Yeah.
Pride on the back.
The falling out happened over something I'd rather not detail, specifically the lather of old anger making the story the rather simple truth being I had done damage to father. Less logic of pride convincing me to defend the indefensible. Victor and I had been close enough to make the sensible refusal to apologize, especially consequential. The closer the friendship, the more the eventual cost of leaving it unaddressed. 7 years passed in the silence of two men, too proud. The vast accumulation of time making the apology contrast sharper against the original offense. The outcast feeling of a friendship that should still be running. 7 years I hold it, that apology, let pride hold it back. Let pride hold it back. 7 years of knowing I was wrong, but staying on track. With the version of the story that protected my ego. 7 years before I finally let the pride go. 7 years I hold it, that apology, let pride hold it back. Pride hold it back. I called him on a Tuesday, no plan, just a specific. Waited 7 years, finally outpacing the terrific. Stubbornness of pride, the prolific. Arguments I made to myself, running out of the horrific. Validity they never actually had. Victor answered, I said what I should have said 7 years prior to answer. Call of a man who moved on but hadn't canceled the friendship completely, the unscattered. Generosity of someone whose character outlasted my poor behavior. He accepted it clean, the savior. Quality of genuine forgiveness. The behavior of somebody who who been waiting for me to deliver the words I owed him. We talked 2 hours after that.
The rap stab alone bass on one kick hard vinyl snare two. Kick hard vinyl snare two. Raise on one kick hard, kick hard, kick hard, kick hard, kick hard.
Yeah.
The rap stab alone bass on one kick hard, kick hard, kick hard.
One time. Victor and I talk every week now. The 7-year gap closed by one phone call. The even exchange of a real apology for a real forgiveness. The given and received finally completing what pride is stolen. 7 years of pride cost 7 years of friendship. Never again, never again, never again, never again.
7 years I hold that apology. Let pride hold it back. Let pride hold it back. For 7 years of knowing I was wrong, but staying on track, staying on track. With the version of the story that protected my ego. 7 years before I finally let the pride go. 7 years I hold that apology. Let pride hold it back. Pride hold it back. 7 years. 7 years. 7 years. 7 years.
Brass stab alone bass on one kick hard bottom snare two. Get on home. Get on home. Get on home. Get on phone. Get on phone. Get on phone. Yeah, I know. Yo, Coach Williams pulled me aside after practice one Thursday. Said he saw something in me I was throwing away. Said the talent was there, but the discipline wasn't matching it. That conversation changed everything, I'm still catching it.
Coach Williams pulled me aside after practice one Thursday. Said he saw something in me I was throwing away. Said the talent was there, but the discipline wasn't matching it. That conversation changed everything, I'm still catching it.
I was 16, good enough to think I was better than I actually was. The letter grade of my own assessment, a full letter above reality. The better than I am confidence that coaches recognize before players do. Coach Williams let it ride for 6 weeks to view. From outside being something you can't argue into somebody who hasn't earned a clue. From experience yet then Thursday after practice the specific patience of a man who coached 30 years, the prolific database of every version of this kid, the terrific calm with which he said what needed saying, the horrific waste of potential isn't talent that's absent, it's discipline to sleep in.
Coach Williams pulled me aside after practice one Thursday. Said he saw something in me I was throwing away. Said the talent was there, but the discipline wasn't matching it. That conversation changed everything, I'm still catching it.
He didn't yell, didn't threaten, just told me what he saw, clear and direct, the specific flaw. Identify precisely the half effort and drill, the raw talent coasting when the practice drill saw. Dust felt boring, the saving of real effort for games only. He said talent peaks at different levels, but the lonely truth is discipline determines which level you reach. The only variable actually in your control, the hone edge of consistent effort being the separator between potential and achievement. I heard it differently at 16, the eventual understanding developing over years, the sequential evidence of his point proving itself, the consequential impact of that one Thursday conversation still compounded.
Coach pulled me aside after practice one Thursday. Said he saw something in me I was throwing away. Said the talent was there, but the discipline wasn't matching it. That conversation changed everything, I'm still catching it.
Yeah. Thursday after practice, 6 weeks, he watched first one honest conversation. And in fuller understanding at 16, I understand it completely now.
Shell. One handshake, yeah.
That ran all the can tell 20 years of trade. Two men whose word outweighed any contract weight. Lawyers said we were fools that shook heads of everybody watching us. The overlooked power of two men who actually meant what they said.
Robert and I made our first deal in 91. Shook hands over a shared business opportunity to one page you could assign sitting right there. The nonetheless decision to seal it on a word alone. The sun setting on two men who known each other long enough to trust a handshake over paper. The rough assessment of every advice
advisor we had, that's enough to build a lawsuit, but not a business. The gruff dismissal of our instinct by everybody who knew better. We ignored the advice, the explicit letter of professional opinion, overruled by the setter of our own writ on each other. The better evidence being 20 years of what followed. One handshake, no paper, sealed 20 years of dealing straight. Two men whose word outweighed any contract's weight. Lawyers said we were fools that shook heads of everybody watching us. Overlook power of two men who actually meant what they said. Every deal we made for 20 years, same method. The handshake preceding any paper. The tested reliability of each other's word, making the rest the weight of a contract feel redundant. The bested argument for paper being the one we never encountered between us. We had disputes sometimes, the counted claims, the genuine disagreement, the surmounted the friction of two strong opinions, the amounted evidence that we could resolve anything through conversation. Never once in 20 years did either of us violation ate the terms of any deal we taken on the nation of two men whose word meant exactly what it said. The station of that reputation being the actual business itself. One handshake, no paper, sealed 20 years of dealing straight. Two men whose word outweighed any contracts weight. Laura said we were fools that shook heads of everybody watching us. We overlooked power of two men who actually meant what they said. Yeah. 91 first deal, handshake, only 20 years of deals the same way. Lawyers still shake their heads, never once broken. The word was the contract. I found a letter I wrote to myself at 20 years old, buried in a shoebox. The specific goal of a young man's ambition spelled out in his own hand. I read it at 35 and barely recognized who I planned. I sealed it in an envelope addressed to future me, instructing myself to open it at 35 to free. And certain optimism of 20 having no trouble imagining 35, the overflow of confidence about what that future version would look like. I found it during the move to psyche, the experience of reading your own 20-year-old psyche. Back to yourself, the specific bike you thought you'd be riding versus the actual vehicle life gave you. I wanted to be rich by 30, the preview of success I sketched out specific and new. The house, the career, the act crew, certainty of somebody who hadn't been tested yet by anything. I found a letter I wrote to myself at 20 years old, buried in a shoebox. The specific goal of a young man's ambition spelled out in his own hand. I read it at 35 and barely recognized who I planned. I found a letter wrote to myself at 20 years old, buried in a shoebox. The specific goal of a young man's ambition spelled out in his own hand. I read it at 35 and barely recognized who I planned. 20-year-old me didn't predict the detours, the years where the plan collapsed completely, the contours that real life pressed into my ambitions, the overtures toward opportunity that costs everything, the apertures of joy I never could have imagined writing that letter. The woman I meet who would make everything better and harder simultaneously, the unforeseen weather of loss and luck and circumstance, the tether between who I planned to be and who I actually became. 20-year-old me was naive about the game, but had something real underneath the impatient claim, the raw energy of believing everything possible, the flame of that conviction being an actual gift worth keeping. I found a letter I wrote to myself at 20 years old, buried in a shoebox. The specific goal of a young man's ambition spelled out in his own hand. I read it at 35 and barely recognized who I planned. I found a letter wrote to myself at 20 years old, buried in a shoebox. The specific goal of a young man's ambition spelled out in his own hand. I read it at 35 and barely recognized who I planned. 20 years old, 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 20 years old. Sealed the letter, found it during a move at 35. Laughed at the naivety, cried at what had been right. Wrote another one tonight.
My son watched me fail at 40, saw me lose it all, then watched me rebuild from nothing. Never once let him see me crawl into defeat permanently. The lesson in the rising, not the falling. My son watched me fail and saw me rise.
The business collapsed when he was 12, the specific age where a kid understands enough to be horrific. Alley aware what losing everything means, the prolific. Fear in his eyes at 12, watching his father's terrific. Confidence crack under real pressure. I could have shielded him from the full reality, kept it dim. Details private, performed okay for him. At home, I'm falling apart elsewhere. The grim I'm zoned, that was the truth, letting them see it all. The actual process of failure, the actual core made to start over. The actual early fall, mornings of rebuilding from zero to actual war. Hit and climb past in real time, right in front of him. My son watched me fail at 40, saw me lose it all. Then watch me rebuild from nothing. Never once let him see me crawl into defeat permanently. The lesson in the rising, not the falling. My son watched me fail and saw me rising. By the time he was 15, the new thing was working to build. From nothing, second attempt, gaining traction. The guilt of the first failure transformed into actual knowledge. The silt of bad decisions filtered out, the rebuilt foundation stronger for knowing what it cracked the first one. He watched all of it, the first son's education, being the most honest one I could give the station of a father willing to fail visibly. The patient, rebuilding more instructive than any speech I could have made. He told me last year at 22 what it stayed with him most, not the failure itself, not the shade of losing everything, but the specific decade of watching me refuse to quit. That was the lesson. Rap stab alone, bass on one kick. All final stand two. Rap stab alone, bass on one kick. All final stand two. All final stand two. All final stand two. He started his own business last year, called me first. Asked the same questions I'd had, the rehearsed answer being the actual truth. You feel at some dispersed points along the way. What matters is what comes after. He'd already versed himself in that truth. By watching me, I didn't need to say it. My son watched me fail at 40, saw me lose it all. Then watch me rebuild from nothing. Never once let him see me crawl into defeat permanently. The lesson in the rising, not the falling. My son watched me fail and saw me rising. He was 12 when the business collapsed. He watched all of it. 15 when the new thing worked. 22 when he told me what it stayed with him. Not the fall. The rising. Measure what changed to what stayed exactly the same. Target lesson, but what changed the what? We link back up 10 years later at the same old spot. Same faces, same way of talking. Same lot of inside references nobody outside would understand. 10 years gone and the thing still held, still solid, still our band. We link back up 10 years later at the same old spot. Same faces, same way of talking. Same lot of inside references nobody outside would understand. 10 years gone and the thing still held, still solid, still our band. The crew scattered at 20 in every direction. Jobs, girls, different cities, the deflection of adult life pulling each of us toward our own section of the map. Social media kept some connection alive, but the real thing had thin out. The genuine rhythm of actual presence replaced by the gleam of occasional posts and likes. The evergreen assumption that everybody's fine. The routine substitution of engagement for actual contact. And Marcus sent the group chat message to impact. The meaty, the same diner, Saturday, the pack. Implicit that whoever showed up, the compact. Understanding that some things require a real room. We link back up 10 years later at the same old spot. Same faces, same way you're talking. A lot of inside references nobody outside would understand. 10 years gone and the thing still held, still solid, still our band. The first hour was catching up, compressed to 10 years, summarizing 30-minute stories to win. Did that happen? Moments flying past the pen of shared history, writing new page again. Then somewhere in the second hour, the shift happened. The old language surfacing, instinct of the blackened memory of old jokes returning sharp and intact. The specific rhythm of this particular group, the tack on references only 5 specific people share. The years had changed our circumstances, but the gears of what we built together still mesh perfectly. The years haven't preserved the core thing intact. The tears nobody admitted, but everybody felt came from recognizing that.
Brass stab alone, bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick. Brass stab alone, bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick. Brass stab alone, bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick. Brass stab alone, bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick.
We meet every 2 months now to deliberate. Choice to maintain what almost went dormant, to calibrate. That commitment to something that matters, to moderate, but consistent effort to keep the thing alive, celebrate. 10 years gone and still standing, that's worth protecting. We link back up 10 years later at the same old spot. Same faces, some same way you're talking. A lot of inside references nobody outside would understand. 10 years gone and the thing still held, still solid, still our band. 10 years scattered.
Bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick.
10 years scattered.
Bass on one kick, hard vinyl snare, two bass on one kick.
10 years scattered. Something message. The same Donna Saturday, the language came back in the second hour. Up with something lame. Every 2 months now, keeping it alive. Keeping it alive.
What we built together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths, filling in the gaps the other has. What we built together holds longer. That's just the math. My brother Darnell and I launched the business 8 years back, both wanting to go solo first. The crack of two egos pulling to one, the dependence, the knack each of us had for our own vision to slack. We'd have to give each other's ideas, requiring real trust. We chose partnership instead of disgust. Decision to combine the robust argument for it being a specific discussed complementarity. Darnell's patience calibrating my appetite for risk, my speed balancing is thorough despite everything analysis the unite. D-front we presented the clients the white knuckle moments where each of us held the other steady. What we build together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths, filling in the gaps the other has. What we build together holds longer. That's just the math. What we build together holds longer. That's just the math. Yeah, we've had our real disagreements. The months of tension over direction, the genuine dimension of conflict that comes with real partnership. The mention of hard truths, each of us needed to hear the invention of compromises. Neither of us would have rested alone. We never let a disagreement calcify the grown man decision. Every time to have the actual conversation, the home skill of our particular partnership being the shown. Willingness to be honest when it's uncomfortable. 8 years in, the business standing accountable and solid. The specific strength of we're too committed. People built together, visible in every permitted decision we've made together, better than either could have alone. What we built together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths, filling in the gaps the other has. What we built together holds longer. That's just the math. What we built together holds longer. That's just the math. Yeah. 8 years with Darnell, real disagreements handled honest, complementary strength. What we built together holds stronger than what either of us would have built alone. What we build together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths, filling in the gaps the other has. What we built together holds longer. Yo, that's just the math. My brother Darnell, when I launched the business 8 years back, both wanting to go solo first to crack. Two egos pull into one, dependence, the knack each of us had for our own vision. The slack, we'd have to give each other's ideas and square and real trust. We chose partnership instead to discuss.
decision to combine the robust argument for it being a specific discuss. Complementarity, Darnell's patience calibrating my appetite for risk. My speed balancing is thorough despite everything analysis. The unite D-front we presented to client. The white knuckle moments where each of us held the other steady. Oh, what it, oh, what it, oh, what it, oh. What we built together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. It's alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths filling in the gaps the other had. Yeah. What we built together holds longer. Yeah, that's just the math. We've had our real disagreements, the months of tension over direction, the genuine dimension of conflict that comes with real partnership, the mention of hard truths each of us needed to hear, the invention of compromises neither of us would have reached alone. We never let a disagreement calcify the grown man decision every time to have the actual conversation. The whole skill of our particular partnership being the shown, willingness to be honest when it's uncomfortable. 8 years in the business, standing accountable and solid, the specific strength of what two committed people build together, visible in every permitted decision we made together, better than either could have alone. What we built together holds longer than what either of us builds alone. Two heads see further than one. The tone of each other's strengths filling in the gaps the other had. Yeah, what we built together holds longer. Yeah, that's just the math. What we built together holds stronger than what either of us built alone. What we built together holds stronger. What we built together holds stronger than what either of us built alone. What we built together holds longer than what either of us would have built alone. Yo, my big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down and explained, just let his action be the front. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his action be the front. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. He was 8 years older, already grown by the time I was old enough to actually notice the prime example he set without ever making it a rhyme. D-lesson or a lecture, just the actual climb. He made every single day visible for me to witness. He never told me to work hard, just showed the fitness of his own discipline, the daily commitment. That's somebody actually doing the thing, the witness in itself becoming the entire curriculum. He never said protect your family, just did it the endeavor of showing up for everybody, visible forever in how we live, the actual, not the clever words about how to live, just the living itself is instruction. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. I understood it fully only after I had my own son, watching myself parent the same way to begun. Realization that everything I'd absorbed is spun. Silent education my brother had run without either of us naming it directly. I found myself teaching my son the exact same way. The shelf of wisdom passed down through action itself, the self-evident truth that some lessons transmit better without the puff of explicit instruction. Just a pure modeling of the thing I called my brother that year. Tried explaining what I finally understood, the sustaining impact of his solid example, the maintaining of a whole family's values through pure demonstration. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. My big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front. My big brother never my big brother never my big brother never my big brother never gave me the speech, never once sat me down to explain, just let his actions be the front.
8 years old and never gave a speech, just lived that I understood fully once I had my own son. Now I teach the same solid way.
Every man on my block. Every man on my block. Every man on my block. Every man on my block had two roads in front of him. The
fast money and the slow grind. The hem of the corner calling loud, the trim. Margin between comfortable and free to whim. But choosing easy over earn. I watch my cousin take the fast road. Watch what it does when the fast road runs out. The dozen ways it collects. Eventually I chose the frozen. Winners of the slow build instead. Deliberate. Every year stacking on the last. The accelerate. Nothing about it. Just consistent to desperate. Patience required to trust the process to separate. Road splitting at 17. Never fully closing. I chose this path with my eyes wide open. No excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway. No debating. I chose this path with my eyes wide open, no excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway, no debating. 10 years later, my cousin still stuck at the same corner, older now, the same game, running him instead of him running the game. The flame of his early hustle burned down to the same story repeated. I'm not better than him, just different. Chose different math, different risks, didn't different. Universe not caring which road the belligerent. Truth that neither path guarantees anything. The diligent effort required, either way the actual difference being what you're building toward the factual. Record shows the slow road paid off the practical. Wisdom earned through patience, the tactical choice made at 17, still paying dividends today. I chose this path with my eyes wide open, no excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway, no debating. I chose this path with my eyes wide open, no excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway, no debate. I don't judge the road not taken. I understand the pull of the fast money when your pockets stay null and void of options. I just made a different bet, full aware of the odds, and the slow road came through full circle. I'm still here, still building, still free. I chose this path with my eyes wide open, no excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway, no debating. I chose this path with my eyes wide open, no excuse. Knew exactly what I walked away from. What I lose. Knew the shortcut was still standing there waiting. I chose the long way anyway, no debating. Rose at 17. I chose this I chose this baby. No debating. No debating. Rose at 17. No debating. Rose at 17. I knew what I was choosing. 10 years later, still choosing the same road. I still open.